On June 20th, 2023, Amazon KDP is changing their printing costs. So I already have some videos on this already, but I wanted to do an update because I decided to do the one-time bulk list price update. So if I click on this, it says on May 17th, 2023, you chose to run the one-time bulk list price update on your live paperback and hardcover list prices to continue earning the same royalties after shipping costs change on June 20th, 2023. So it's currently May 25th, 2023. So my actual pricing for my books got changed already. It says here that can take several weeks, but it literally took a few days. I'm not sure the exact day when it changed, but I think it was around the 20th or 21st, 22nd, somewhere around there that it actually changed, and it might have been even a little bit earlier than that. So this did not take several weeks, it actually just took a few days. So I want to make this video because I want to kind of talk about my plans now and everything like that. So going to the printing cost changes FAQ page, I'm just going to be scrolling up and down through this because this video is mostly just going to be me talking. So it'd be nice if you guys can have something else to look at on the screen instead of just looking at a screen that's not moving and listening to me talk the whole time. So pretty much with this one-time bulk update, what KDP does is it changed all of the pricing for all of my books to make the same royalties after the update. So I'll just scroll down to the optional bulk update. So now my prices are changed to when the printing costs actually update, that I will be making the same exact royalties. So that means that I'm going to be making the same amount of money, but my pricing will be different. So one issue with this, which is one concern that I had, is that when KDP does this, they're not actually going to account for what type of decimal or change the cost is. So for example, if you price a book at $6.99 and with the new printing cost changes, you now need to have it at $7.34 in order to make the same royalties. KDP will change it to $7.34. Now, that's not the most appealing type of price to have when you're trying to sell a book. So that is the one issue, or one of the issues with the one-time bulk update. So all of mine updated, and majority of my books actually needed to go up by almost $1. So my new books are actually either like $9.91, $10.91, $8.91, like things like that. So majority of all my books, especially my bestsellers, all end in that 0.91 now, which I'm actually really happy about because I don't think that's actually a bad decimal. So I've been deciding whether or not I want to go through about 100 or so books, like just my top books right now, and change it to 0.99. But after doing a bit of thinking and just kind of going over how long that would take me, pros and cons, I've decided for right now I'm not going to change them to 0.99, and I'll explain why. So my number one reason for not doing this is that when Amazon KDP did the one-time bulk price update, I do not believe that my books went through the review process again. Now, I don't have any proof of this because it's not listed here, but the fact that all of my books got done within a few days and it wasn't the typical price update change. Like whenever I update a price or something like that, usually there's a pop-up or I get an email that my book's been published if I make changes in review. No, there was nothing. So I believe that Amazon KDP solely changed the price and that was it. So my number one reason to not going through individually and changing the prices is because anytime you send your book through review, you run the risk of KDP flagging it. And I would be changing my bestsellers. So my concern is that something may come up. I may have issues. I may have to unpublish books. Like, obviously, I do my best to follow all of the terms and conditions, but sometimes things just happen. And so my number one reason to not going through and changing them all right now is because I don't believe any of my books actually went through the review process. And if I were to go through and manually change them, then they would go through the review process. And I'm worried that some might get flagged, especially my bestsellers, and that would cause issues with my KDP account. So what's my plan right now? Right now, I plan to just wait and kind of see what happens. so far, I'll go through my actual income report because I downloaded, you can download a report like on your dashboard, and I won't show that because that reveals like everything about my books. But it does show me what books sold and what their pricing was when they sold, and I'm still making sales with the 0.91 pricing. So let me go to my dashboard really quick. And my sales have always varied day to day and how much I make. So currently today I've sold one and made $2.90, but it varies every day. Like I've had some days where I've only sold one, sold two, and then I have other days, like on the 23rd, I sold 10, and a lot of those were the new pricing. And earlier in the month, I sold 14. So my sales have always varied quite a bit, at least recently. So I'm not too concerned that they've dropped a little bit recently, because I did have this day where I sold 10, and a lot of those were the 0.91 pricing, like I mentioned before. So I'm just going to keep monitoring my sales, but I really don't think that this new pricing is going to affect whether or not my book sells, because it's a pricing very close to 0.99, and I don't think people are weirded out by it or taken aback by it as much as if it was a price that was like 36 cents or 71 cents, like something a bit more random. I think 91 cents is actually kind of more common, or it just doesn't seem as weird or as off-putting. So I think I'm going to keep it at this for now. I don't want to risk sending my books through the review process, and I have continued to make sales. So this is what I'm going to keep doing for now. I'm just going to kind of sit back, wait, and see what happens. Maybe give it at least a few weeks. But I really don't think changing them all is going to have more pros than cons for me. So that's why I'm opting to just leave it as is for now. And I know everyone's going to be different. Every case is going to be different. Not everyone's books are going to be affected the same way. Like, there's so many different factors, but I'm simply just sharing what's going on with my KDP account and what I'm planning to do right now. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it kind of just gave you some more insight on maybe what to do with your account if you're struggling to figure out what to do. This is not advice or anything. I'm not telling you to do what I'm doing. I'm just trying to give you a new perspective and new ideas on how to go about this whole printing cost change, because it is a lot to take in and it is a lot that's going to be changing. So thank you so much for watching and listening to this video, and I hope that you have a great day.